going on there, YouTube. Sorry I gotta use this headphone jack microphone, but this Galaxy 5 microphone is pretty terrible. It sounds bad. But like I said, I want to thank everybody who commented and gave me these awesome comments on my ABL Live, which I got yesterday after about 46 phone calls calling this guy. I would not stop because I love his show. He's an amazing guy. I got on there. I got to speak my mind. I got to let people know what's up. So, in true ABL fashion, without further ado, go ahead and roll it.
Gotta move around. I can't sit for too long because my neck and my back, you messed up. My neck and my back. 407, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, ABL? My name is Britton. I live down in Florida. I am super stoked that you got my phone call.
Well, I'm glad I'm able to talk to you. What's going on, Mitchie, man?
Nothing much. I just had a couple of things I wanted to call in. One of the things that I had been seeing, I got out of the military a couple of years ago, and I came back to the civilian world. I thought it was going to be great, and then I saw a lot of the stuff that I was doing. In the military, people didn't really have a whole lot of idea, kind of like the Vault 7 thing. So what I used to do is I used to work in SATCOM and radio and electronics and everything in the military, and, some of my Marines, they would come up to me like, hey, Corporal, check this out, and they would bring up a little program, and they can shut down websites in like 3.5 seconds. I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting, guy. I'm not going to mess with this little young guy. I'm not going to blast him. So, a lot of this stuff was very, very, a lot of the Vault 7, all this other stuff, it was very common knowledge. So me, I grew up, my grandfather was Tuskegee Airman, for 20 years, served in the Air Force, and he got out. He's a very tough guy. He went back to work for the government. He did a lot of the secret government programs, SR-71 Blackbird and stuff like that. So he would, him and my grandmother would always call me and tell me, hey, they're listening to your phone. Hey, they're doing this. And I would be like, really? And my grandmother would stop talking to me and be like, hold on a second. Hello? I know you're listening. You better stop. And I was like, Grandma, what are you talking about? And after a while, the old school shows they used to have, I guess it was like a cutting point to where the History Channel, I guess they realized, hey, we can't have these certain documentaries on. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. They used to have the really good documentaries where they used to get to the point and you used to be like, wow, that's really serious. And now it's kind of like a bunch of just nonsense. So me being the person that I am, I assumed, which is a bad word, that everyone knew that politics was just a joke. And then because a lot of people really didn't want to, they were too busy or just lazy to actually deal with their own problems. So they just pass it off to a placeholder, aka or a middleman or a woman, which is where politicians are. Then when I got out, I realized people really don't know this, and I was blown away. I just couldn't believe it. And so every day, right now, I drove down the street the other day, I was listening to NPR, and they're coming out, and this lady says, anybody who believes that the government, starting at Barack Obama or beforehand, has ever surveilled any American citizens for any reason, you're just crazy. And I almost swerved my truck into a ditch and blew it up just because I didn't even know what to do. I was so shocked, and I was like, I guess all the people out there that are listening to this, they already know. People listening to this, they just assume that you're so shocked and taken back that you're not even gonna do anything about it. So a lot of people out there, I just imagine I go around. I'm a black person, okay? I live down south, live in Florida, and I go to country bars because I can't hang around black people because I'm not black enough for them. I haven't been to jail, never been arrested, never been pulled over. I don't have any of that stuff. So basically, I'm not allowed to be their friends, and I can't go over there. I can't hang out with them. None of them liked me because I read books as a child because my parents made me read. Right. I come from as you can say, my grandfather, he was a very, very tough person. My grandmother, she had 6 children. She traveled around with my grandfather and stuff. So it was like my family, being black people, they were very serious, and they took it. They would be damned if I was one of these, hoodlums running around doing all this stuff. So I think what we need to do is to try to, even though it's hard, people that are super far gone, just to hold off on them. Try to go and reach out to people, even if it's 1 or 2, and get them, to open their eyes. I think that's a good thing that we can do. There's a lot of negative going on, but I think that if we can every so often focus on a few positive things, that would be great. But the negative stuff, you have to acknowledge it so that it doesn't go unchecked, and then you have a lot of people believing in it. So that's just one thing. And another thing, before I get out of here, I know I've been trying to call 100 times, but one of the other things I like to say is there's a lot of places that you can look to try to get the concept, because a lot of people get the information, they just don't get the concept. So I showed this to another Marine, and he literally flipped out, and he was just so angry. I think this is what woke him up. There's a show on Netflix, on Hulu. It's weird. It's an anime show. It's called Psycho Pass. It's kind of like a hall pass when you're a little kid, right?
Yes.
It's called Psycho Pass. And what they've done is I think people in Japan are starting to understand. It's a show about in Japan, like right after World War III, like 2021 and a little bit plus, kind of like the new movie that's coming out, The Ghost in a Shell, where everything is just a little bit, it's like a couple years in the future from now, and you have a psychopath, which is your hue, it's your cloud in your brain. When you become angry or upset, the police will come and arrest you. It's a step beyond Minority Report. Like, you were thinking of a crime, we're going to come arrest you because you're thinking of doing this. This show takes it a step further, where if you're even upset or angry, and it has a point system, when your points get below or above a certain point because of anger or sadness, they show up and they arrest you. And it's like, I wasn't even, and it's over. And it's such a good show, and it's weird. A lot of people, it's a cartoon, and like people don't like that, but a lot of anime shows are very like graphic. They're very adult. So if you're listeners, you go check out Psycho Pass, just watch 1 or 2 episodes. It's about a young girl. She joins the police force in Japan. They have no more cops. There's like 7 police for this entire city of millions of people because they have robots and it's like automated, and they just go around. They're called enforcers. So whenever you think of something and it makes you mad or anything, you become a latent criminal, and they come and arrest you, and you have 2 choices. You can go to jail for the rest of your life, and they put you into a cryo freezer and do all these things, or you can become a police officer and arrest more latent criminals. But it's getting to the point to where if you even think of something bad, you are already a criminal, even that are upset or frowning. And it's a really good show because it shows you what the future of like these liberalism, totalitarian people are. And it's really insane. Like, it's such an amazing show. Like, I had to watch it twice, and I was so shocked. It made me upset.
I'm with you on that. I'm going to cut you off, but, you got to get to a few more calls. But definitely, it sounds like a great show. It's called Psycho Pass. I put that in the chat so everybody can go check it out and see it.
Yes, thank you.
I know, anime shows are kind of like that. They have adult themes to it, so that'd definitely be a good show to watch and check out.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much for the call, and I love your show. Love everybody listening. Hey, go check it out, and Hey, to the future, Black people must rise, and not this nonsense. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, man. Great call. Definitely appreciate it.
Hoorah. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to the Marines. Thank you for your service, man. Definitely appreciate it. My father was in the Marines for 3 years. He was 17. He enlisted. So definitely I got a connection with you there, boss. I was never in the military, but my father was, and my uncle and a bunch of other people. But I digress. Big ups to all the callers. Definitely appreciate you. 260, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Sean in Fort Wayne.
All righty, what's going on with you?
Well, I've been hearing a lot of calls in here about the people having a problem trying to hang out with black people and this and that, and it's totally like trying to put this as nice as I can, but it's like totally where you're from, because I lived out in California, out here in the Midwest, out in Georgia, and this just totally different on different coasts. I guess I'm trying to say. So yeah, that last caller said he was having a problem trying to get along with people of a different color or whatnot.
Well, no, he's black though. He was black.
Oh, was he? Okay, yeah.
What he was saying was that the black community does not accept him because he's not black enough. So
he was talking about country bars. I'm like, well, see, there you go.
Yeah, see, he says he has to go to country bars because he can't go to black bars because they don't like him.
Yeah, that's kind of ironic